issues of eating fast food long term go way beyond the Super Size Me documentary.
We're all living in an obstacle course, our own tenderloin. It's on every corner, in every store, in every workplace.
Everywhere you go, Americans are being, and teens included, are being pressured, I think, to choose the value meal. For just a few dollars more, you get a lot more food.
The more that they can keep you eating their food, keep you returning for that same food, and keep you hungry, the more that's going to increase their profit.
Shouldn't it surprise us when we see an advertisement from a fast food restaurant now made with real chicken?
Yeah.
I mean, like, now made with real chicken.
This is the global warming of human health.
Extremely unhealthy.
Highly addictive.
Poisonous packaging.
Empty calories.
My opinion on fast food and the opinion of the medical community in general is that fast food is bad for our patients as well as society overall.
They're made of a lot of preservatives and chemicals. The customers don't see what's happening behind the counter, and I think that's one of the secrets and strategies that that the fast food places are using, kind of hiding their workstations and what's happening in between them.
If you eat too much of it, it is dangerous, but if you're not having a high intake of it, you should be fine.
The thing about fast food being bad is that for companies to make it, if they want to make it cheaply, they have to do it really unhealthy.
Fast food choices tend to be very highly processed with a very high density, high calorie kind of content, especially high salt content, and not enough fiber, not enough nutrients such as iron and calcium.
They use a lot of preservatives and a lot of chemicals in their food just so it can stay frozen for up to months, and just so it can be cooked very easy and fast, delivered to the customer, which is what it says in the name.
It's convenient, and I guess it's cheaper than going to set stores and preparing meals.
Well, fast food tends to be easy, tends to be readily available, tends to be cheap, and it's highly advertised. That's a very concerning element to it. People are on tighter budgets these days, and their food dollar goes further with fast food than the grocery store. We're seeing a lot of single-parent families. We're seeing a lot of families where both parents work, time constraints, so all of those factors come into play.
In the fast-paced world that we live in today, people need, where people are rushing, people need a quick and fast source of food, so that is why they rely on the fast food industry.
It's cheap food to make at a high quantity, and they're also catering to people that want to buy cheap food, and I think they should be affordable because the people buying fast food could be college kids or families without a lot of money, and they need food to live. It's not the best food, but it'll get you by.
Many of my patients are overweight. When I discuss diet with them, I find that many of them are making poor food choices and are eating fast food way too frequently. Complaints related to eating too much fast food are very common, include fatigue, headaches, depressed mood, acne and skin conditions. On an individual basis, I do counsel patients. I do tell them about portion size and tell them about the amount of times that they're eating out and what it leads to.
If you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you are really not going to be persuaded by like McDonald's and Burger King ads, for example. I think the only way ads are trying to persuade us is when people, as we say, the 10 minutes in the day that we have is like we go on the internet or watch TV, and therefore those ads pop there just to show us, kind of to trick us into having the food of the company that is advertised in the next few days, just as a fast way to come in, get food, and leave and continue on with our day.
Most importantly, we are seeing increasing amounts of high blood pressure, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, stroke, sleep apnea. Often people have a sedentary lifestyle as well that eat a lot of fast food. And surprising to most is that even some cancers, such as colon cancer and breast cancer, are associated with high fast food intake.
A few years back, I ate fast food like 2 or 3 times a week, but now, this year, I've been trying to cut it. The past year, I've been trying to cut it off, so it's like 1 time a week, I would say.
I probably go every weekend, so once or twice a week.
Well, I generally don't eat fast food, but when I'm working at a shift, I do get free food every time, so I can take home like a salad every day.
Well, one of the most difficult questions we have in the medical community is how to help people eat better to help them be healthier. We have very poor education in this country related to diet, related to nutrition, health. In my opinion, this all starts when people are young. It starts maybe with more in the schools. Right now it's left up to the parents. Parents tend to be the main teachers of nutrition and health, and oftentimes they are not feeding their families healthy. This has become a health crisis, especially with obesity.
I know like Indian, McDonald's, and Burger King offer vegetarian and vegan options because of their menu, so I think that McDonald's and Burger King here should start doing that, offering salads and more vegan and vegetarian options to attract more people. But I feel like healthy food cannot be made fast. You gotta actually spend time and more money on it. So I feel like it would not be an effective solution and an effective strategy for fast food places to make money that way. And that is why a lot of those places do not include healthy food, and it is rare to get healthy fast food today.
One of the newest perspectives on fast food and poor eating in general is food as an addiction. High recognition of many addictive elements in our society, smoking, alcohol, and more recently the opioid epidemic, where people are dying and dying very fast and dramatically, but are people dying perhaps a little slower from eating fast food, eating high fat, eating high salt, eating high sweet food leads to more craving of the same food, and eventually it appears changes in our brain, much like some of the drug addictions that lead to craving, that lead to perhaps a lifelong affliction of craving these food items. So it makes it a very difficult challenge to address the problem. That is why my philosophy is it must be education. It must be getting people when they're younger, teaching them, showing them. But when you have advertising, when you have cheap, affordable food options are the bad options. It's being immersed in the substance that you're addicted to, perhaps. Most addiction today, we help people to deal with, but it's very difficult to cure, much like a food addiction would be. We have to eat food every day. Most substances that people are addicted to, we tend to have a zero tolerance, or they just must abstain. Well, it's very, very difficult to treat an addiction to a condition where you keep getting that, you keep getting food. It's just you can't have the foods that you ultimately crave. And that's a very, very difficult problem to solve.